All right, we are headed to the dealership now. Yeah, final thoughts, especially after the last video. A lot of you guys shared your opinion on my opinion, and I value your opinion. The numbers I'm seeing for the motors are awesome. You know, like I think somebody posted last night, I think it was like Mike Body, it was like a 400 horsepower, like FBO, or even just intake and exhaust. It's cool, it's great. I think for me though, like it's just not what I'm looking for right now. So yeah, I don't know, it's nice, it's a nice car. Like I'm very privileged to have it, but at the same time, new ventures, you know, like I think the big thing, without rambling like the last video, I've had Subarus for so long, very large majority of my driving life. Yeah, I just want to try something new, so.
I found your car. Yeah, nice, the new whip.
Bye. See you, loser. I'm just kidding. It was a good car, but here we are. The 2023 Corolla GR. I put a deposit on this in December of 2022. So no, 21. So it was a long time ago. It is January of 23. So yeah, this is a car that interests me. I saw a lot of rumblings about it. I was kind of, you know, excited. This is my first time driving it, by the way. I literally just pull off a lot. So this is my first time driving the car. I will be experiencing it with you while I talk, but yeah, I was excited about the car. It looked cool. Always liked Toyota. Ryan Turek's Drift Corolla was awesome, is awesome. Obviously it's a different engine, different powertrain, but just the looks. Cool car. I've always thought these cars are like really interesting. Not fast, but they look aggressive. I think Toyota's, I mean, even the Camry, I thought pretty cool. These headlights always look great. It was fun. We've done a couple pairs before of the regular E210 Corolla lights, and when I heard this was coming out, it was kind of poised to be like the WRX. It piqued my interest, and here we are a year later. So yeah, this is interesting. This is my first non-Subaru. My kid's in the back. Something else. First non-Subaru in 13 years. So yeah, I know Toyota, obviously, I think they own part of Subaru. They work with Subaru on some stuff. Honestly feels like kind of at home. Like I don't feel like super out of it. I'm not like struggling to figure out where things are. Seats feel good, car feels good. Like I said, I've driven, you know, a half mile at this point, but
I really like the exhaust tone actually.
Yeah, the exhaust sounds
like interesting.
Really good. It's like grungy. It's like deep for being a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder. It definitely sounds like more growly than the WRX. I like the WRX on cold start. It sounds like really loud and aggressive. After that, it's like pretty tame. You know, obviously they make exhausts for those cars, but I think with the FA 2 liter and the 2.4, it not having those unequal length headers, yeah, just the distinct sound of Subaru kind of gets rid of. But with this car, yeah, when I started at the cold start, it was very aggressive, and then even just driving around, especially like low RPMs, it's pretty growly. Yeah, so far I'm liking the sounds I hear. The power feels good. I know with the Subaru it had like a lot low down. Honestly, this feels very similar. The low down power, the low down torque. I was surprised. A lot of people are saying like up high it really is comfortable, so it's kind of nice to feel a similar push in the seat. It's got some good turbo noises. G-force meter. Yeah, and then the other gadgets, I'm sure, like, this is not like a car review. This is really us starting on this platform with other people, just doing some stuff, working with some companies to progress this platform, just like we tried to with Subaru stuff. So yeah, there's different drive modes. There is a like diff power selector. I don't know what they call it. GR4 modes. You can select how much power you want to certain stuff. I honestly, okay, we're 60-40 now. I just got in the car and got out of there because we were there for a little bit of time. We're actually in eco mode. Yeah, car feels good. Feels planted. I like the seats. The seats are like they're a little higher than maybe I would normally have them. Okay, I'm able to lower it. But they still feel good. Like compared to the WRX might have a little more like side bolster, but the center of these actually feels a lot more comfortable. Not only the back, but like the bottom as well. So yeah, I'd say like a little less huggy, but they feel like very, like the center of them, yeah, is just more comfortable, more supportive. The doors are bland, I will say that. I know like I was talking in the last video, rambling on about how I wanted something you know, with cool stitching and logos and stuff like that, and like a nice feel to it. I will definitely say the interior is like definitely more Corolla than GR. WRX had like carbon fiber accents and red leather trim and stuff, and this is very basic, which is okay. Wheel feels good, like the diameter of it, the size of it. It's got logos on the seats. It's got logos right on the steering wheel here. And as many of you may know or may not, there's no armrest in the center. So you might like do like a little warm up, little swim in the middle trying to find it. I don't mind it very much. I usually have my hand either on the wheel or on the shifter. So maybe come and see me in a week. That might change. Maybe I don't even think about where my elbow is, but yeah, overall it feels good. Us being a light company, or a light focused company, the headlights, it's hard to tell because once again we're on lit roads and with cars, but the headlights seem pretty good. I'm gonna dig into those and try to figure out what's going on with those. I don't know if they have like an auto leveling similar to the new WRX. I don't know if they have the active steer, to be honest. I haven't noticed that at all yet, but rest assured we're gonna figure that out, try to figure out some cool things. I'm very curious if the regular Corolla lights will fit this car. So I'm wondering if it's the same. They look the same size and the same footprint. So the only other question is the compatibility with the plug. So I know with the new WRX, the limited, which is the ones with the C lights, those don't work on the base and premium models. We talked about that in the last video. So I'm curious about these. I want to see what the options are. Obviously we want to offer options for headlights and lighting. We have some other stuff. The taillights are different for sure than the Corolla. They stick out more. They do have a red lens on the outside, whereas the Corolla was a clear lens. And they have like a little fin on them, which is kind of weird, but I like it. It's like a canard kind of thing in the taillight. These are LEDs, so we can't change those out. This is more, we do lighting, and I'm gonna continue that with this car, but this is gonna be some other fun stuff too. And yeah, like maybe like a little, like a parallel street to what we normally do some different stuff. I've already been talking to some companies. We already have parts at the shop to put in this, and other stuff too. Like I bought some extra parts in a box in the back that we're gonna send off to a few different manufacturers and see if we could have some variations made. So we'll see. You know, if people want certain things like this for this car, I'd love to hear about it. Throw a comment below if you guys want certain things for your 2022 WRX, or if there's another car that you have that you want some different parts for, components. Let's talk. It's got a good blow off.
I hear turbo.
I'm not going to get on it yet. I'm just going to give it a little bit, throw a couple miles. I tripped the tire the other dealer because they wanted me to. But so we were just talking, trying to figure out like what the engine sound reminds us of. And Shane that works at the shop, we were in his E46 wagon over the weekend that has an inline six. We're getting a lot of those vibes, like that kind of like combustion pattern or whatever. Even like 2J, where it's got like that kind of like raspy to it. So yeah, I don't know if it's like because it's a 3-cylinder, it has like a similar like firing line or something like that, but yeah, we're getting like a lot of that like inline 6-cylinder kind of growl to it, which is cool, especially down low. But yeah, I would say my initial thoughts are, as far as performance goes, and I haven't even like really gotten on it at all yet. I've just been like kind of getting it up to like 4 or 5K. It still has the down low that I like from Subaru, and we'll see where we go. I know this isn't very dramatic driving yet, because I want to just take it easy while it's snowing outside with this brand new car. But yeah, and then my initial thoughts, the outside, it looks awesome. It looks small. It's definitely smaller in person than it looks in pictures, which I like. The caveat to that is the interior is quite small, especially compared to the WRX, which I knew coming into this that it was going to be smaller. The hatch is quite big. I would say that it's a little bit smaller than the Subaru trunk, but comparable, and the back seat is definitely a little tighter. The interior panels feel bigger. Like when I open the door, it almost seems like the door panel is like larger, and like I said, it's not the most refined or exotic materials, where the WRX was probably a little better in that aspect. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna go down this together, and if you leave me behind, then I'll just be in the dark. So the one thing I could definitely comment on is just so far, is just like the ride quality is much improved. I know a lot of people said that these cars are like very rough, like expect like a lot of bouncing, stuff like that. It honestly, it's like night and day compared to this. Even Jordan behind the camera, holding the camera straight, it's a little easier. But yeah, it's not as jarring like that. There's not like that hit of the strut where I feel like the WRX had like very aggressive valving or something. We don't get that in this car, which is nice. That's honestly like a big part of what I was looking for. I do plan to do suspension, and that's just like the WRX. But like I said, when I drive around in the stock suspension with the WRX, it's even more violent than the coilovers. And with this one, like, it just feels great. It feels good. It feels sporty still, but like I don't get that hit every time I hit a bump. All right, so it is the next day, today. And we're back in the shop. We are going to do another video after we get a little more miles, a little more seat time with our initial reactions. We also have a box right here of some parts from overseas that we are going to be confirming fitment on for our vehicle. So we were working with an awesome company, I can't say who yet, to confirm a bunch of different fitment of parts in this car, this chassis. So we're super excited for that. Stay tuned, keep watch. We'll talk to you soon.